We're going to talk about all of this, plus your chats right here on the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show, where we have expert trash talk and unrivaled analysis. But this sounds drastic, but I suppose you have to take drastic action when your head coach can't count to 11. I was almost ready to call it off. This is ridiculous.
Let's get into it. Let's talk football. That's going to make us both feel a lot better. And they've finally figured out a winning formula in the last three. Well, I mean, they've been winning the whole time. They just haven't been winning the championships that we won. I mean, Michigan was never a bad team except for maybe 2017 and 2020. Okay, this is really dumb. Why? Maybe it's not dumb. That at the end of this, the NCAA is going to have more egg on their face than Michigan is.
If you're between 19 and 23 years old and people are throwing millions of dollars at you, that's got to mess with your head.
That might be a pipe dream. That might be a pipe dream. I'm just thinking because
it might be, but it would be a lot of fun.
That would be sweet. How long has this segment gone on? Like 40 minutes?
Welcome to the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. This is how things go around here, and you know that because you've seen the show before. All 691 subscribers, by the way, thank you for that.
How many people are going to tune in for the Michigan-Ohio State game now, knowing that the loser of this game can still make the playoffs? I just heard the screams of all of my brain cells die.
We are now up to 907 subs.
Well, actually, hold up, maybe, because we're going to get to this. We'll get to this when we talk more about the spring game.
We have this tradition here that we ask all of our guests, of which you are the first. So it's not a long-standing tradition. All right, well, I do want to be respectful of time. I told Ted we do
We're having so much fun. We're having so much fun.
It's interesting because he said that the goal of the NCAA at this point is to just not get sued anymore.
Yeah, even after these last 3 years, we still represent hard. I mean, you got to rep your team, right? You know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. But the problem was that they weren't pulling in, like, Ohio State level recruiting classes, and this is a huge concern. But then Harbaugh goes and wins a national championship with a bunch of 3 stars, a handful of 4 stars, and then a couple of 5 stars.
And he will announce the starting QB by the end of this week. The NCAA will have 90 days to respond.
Because, yeah, I mean, Michigan really couldn't throw the ball at all because Chop Robinson's pass rush was just insane. I mean, that guy was awesome. He was everywhere, and he was giving Carson Barnhart all sorts of issues, and that's actually why Sharon Moore pivoted in-game to running 30 bajillion some odd times in a row.
Between Tom Osborne and Solich, they had like 30 years of just destroying everybody.
Yes. Yeah.
And now it's legal? I'm sorry. Was Jim Harbaugh like the biggest college football revolutionary ever?
I'll tell you this. No one willingly lives in Ohio.
Yeah.
Case in point, Garrison here. My dear friend.
No comment.
Jim Harbaugh has just introduced a brand new era of college football. These guys are nerds! And they bullied you! What were you thinking?
Kalen DeBoer, in order to keep up with Nick Saban, all DeBoer has to do is win 6 national championships in 17 years to match Nick Saban.
Thank you.
Beautiful, man.
It was very nice.
I really appreciate it.
I could tell you wrote with, from the heart.
Oh, absolutely.
It really meant something to you, and I can appreciate that.
I really appreciate you appreciating how much I appreciate this because it meant a lot to me. I
appreciate that.
They have a shutout every season. That's nothing. Stop. Move on.
I'm trying to be positive here. I'm trying to give the Hawkeyes some hope.
Lecture. Judges don't give lectures. Judges
Will you just
give
say
judgment.
something for crying out loud? That is a bad night for Georgia, but good news for Michigan. The only team Michigan has lost to is now number 1 in the country.
All of Georgia's players are in prison.
Do you think that Notre Dame Purdue is going to be kind of like Arkansas Oklahoma State, where like nobody's trying to win in the second half?
That was awesome. Man, I wish I had half the amount of knowledge that all those guys have.
Mac, take us out.
This is the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show. Good night, everybody, and thanks for joining with us. Joining us. Not with us. We're already here.
A good job by J.J. McCarthy. The handoff. Alec Menace is going to throw a pick. They give it to Corum. Up back. Corum. Touchdown, Wolverine. Roman Wilson does it again. Hill finds some daylight. He's got some speed at the blocker. Outside. Turns the corner. Blake Corum down the sideline. Looking over the middle. Caught. Touchdown, Wolverine. McCarthy extends the play, now using legs. McCarthy a first down.
Woo! Good evening, football fans. The regular season is over, and the championship season is about to begin. And I don't know if you can hear this or not. Can you hear that?
Yeah.
All right, let's not play that for too long. We'll get copyright infringement on there.
Oh, that's a good point.
We are going to expand our horizons tonight and talk about the SEC, the ACC, and of course, the Big Ten, because that's what we do here. We want to talk about these other championship games because the teams playing in those games are in the top 12. They will be in the playoffs. Why should you watch us? Because we have the best picks in all of college football. Plus, we make our picks for the Big Ten Coach of the Year, Player of the Year, and Game of the Year. We'll have a little bit of Heisman conversation. And also, we'll have some therapy time for the Buckeyes because, of course... Okay, all right here on the Big Ten Team Rivalry Show, expert trash talk and unrivaled analysis. I'm your host, Cliff. With me, as always, is the people's prognosticator, Mackenzie. Mac, how you doing over there?
Only one on the channel to call Michigan to win it. I'm still dreaming. I had this weird. I feel it feels like a dream. I feel like I haven't woken up from the dream. And Jack Sawyer, what he did, I love the energy. Actually, like that's what makes the rivalry great. Love the energy. Didn't love the fighting, and I don't know, man. It was just, I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm still in shock. It doesn't make any sense. It makes no sense. That's the thing about it. It's just, like, as soon as the game hit all zeros, I was just like,
what is going on? I know, that was incredible. That was an incredible game. I was planning on like I was telling you, I was planning on a sort of easy Saturday afternoon because I didn't have a lot of expectations for that game. And wouldn't you know it, it's 10-10 at the half. And I'm like, well, I got to watch it now. And my lazy Saturday afternoon turned into a tense half, a couple of hours there. But hey, it is December 4th, or as I like to call it, December 4-0. Ah! Also, we have our sponsors, right? Do we have a sponsor today?
Yeah, we've got sponsors every day.
Let's have a sponsor. What do you got going?
Well, shoot, I need to bring up the thing.
You need to bring up something. I should have talked to you about this beforehand. Yeah. If I was a good host, if I was a good producer, I would have said, hey, Mac, be ready with the ad read. But I'm not.
No, you're not.
We like to keep things intense around here. Keep you on your toes. Keep things moving.
I don't like that. I don't like that at all. All right.
You ready?
I got the first one. You'll need a second for the second one, but I got the first one. Here we go. Okay.
Is it this one?
Yes.
Okay.
So here's the thing. Do you remember last week how we were talking about that Ohio State fans stink? Well, apparently so does their football team. Clearly, they are not using Honey & Co. handmade market room sprays because if they did, they probably would have won on Saturday. And that's just a fact. It's just science. Discover the perfect gifts this holiday season at the Honey & Co. handmade market. Their exquisite room sprays bring festive scents to life, creating the perfect atmosphere for you and your family to enjoy the holidays together. Choose from a range of delightful fragrances that add a special touch to every room. They make great gifts, so you guys, if you're looking for stocking stuffers for your wives, they got you. Or for your wives, not wives. Hopefully you've only got one.
I was going to say, we're not Mormons here.
We're not Mormons. I think, do they still do that? It doesn't matter. Hopefully they all smell good, these are great. They're really great stocking stuffers. If you're looking for something that just brightens up the room, makes you smell good and all that, just definitely check them out. honeyandcomarket.com. I believe new customers are getting 15% off, but don't quote me on that.
Ooh, nice. It is good stuff. I like it. We use it here too. It's very good stuff.
Sure.
All right. Thank you very much, Mac.
Yeah.
Let us start bringing on our guests because we've got a lot to talk about tonight. So we are going to start with, he was so outraged by the Buckeyes' loss to Michigan, he went on YouTube and calmly explained what happened. From Buckeyes Battle Cry, we have Rob Moores. Rob, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. You know, took 2 L's over the weekend. Watched Ohio State literally pee down their leg and scared in the moment and just completely blow it. And the other L I took, so it was Georgia versus Georgia Tech on Friday night. For the first time ever, I went on FanDuel. I looked at the game, and there, I think it was like plus 1,200 or so, plus 1,500 that Haynes King rushes for over 110 yards, gets 2 rushing touchdowns. He was in the right trajectory. If I made a $20 bet, I would have won $1,000. But at the last moment, I said, no, I can't do it. So that's the other L I took.
Yeah, lots of big upsets this past weekend.
Yeah, definitely.
That's crazy. Give us a rundown on your socials. What do you got?
For YouTube, you can catch my co-host Peter and I on Buckeyes Battle Cry. And I'm not, so funny story with my TikTok. I'm not gonna say anything about the TikTok, but I rebranded the username. Terrible idea. Now TikTok doesn't recognize me. I got over 100,000 views for the weekend with @BuckeyeRob13.
Oh.
Like, you know, if I rebrand it, you know, I start wearing more neutral clothes, I'll get more followers. I can talk about other things. And so I did that. TikTok doesn't recognize me. And yesterday I had trouble getting to 500. So if you get momentum in TikTok, don't change your username. Don't do it. So I'm going to pause off on the TikTok one.
All right. So, but do you have a new username now, or do you not want to worry about that? Or
I'm not going to worry about that now because I'm fighting to get it back before the 30 days is up.
All right. Well, we have Rob's partner on Buckeyes Battle Cry. He was so upset by the brawl after the Ohio State-Michigan game, he went on YouTube to rage quote the Book of Proverbs. From Buckeyes Battle Cry, we have Peter Ackhauer. Peter, how you doing?
I sure did. You know what I did at halftime of the game? To my shame, I went on Facebook Live in a jacuzzi with a Buckeye necklace on and said 45-10, still 45-10. That's how confident I am. I'm in a jacuzzi. Yeah. Rob is the yin to my yang. He is calm. I am emotional, and he's superior in every way.
Yeah, I saw the thumbnail on that one in the hot tub, and I was like, "Oh my goodness, Peter's getting a little risque over there."
Ooh.
Also,
no free feet though. No free feet.
I'll be at the Big Ten championship game this weekend.
Oh, nice. Oh, that's right. Your wife is an alumni of Penn State, right?
Well, she's a Penn State fan. She's not an alumni of Penn State.
A fan.
She's just a big Penn State fan.
All right. Does
you're not allowed to be a fan of a school if you're not alumnus. So.
That's what the Michigan State fans tell us.
So we're just a bunch of Walmarts.
Yeah, everybody's at Walmart, whatever, if you didn't actually go to the school. So,
yep.
That's funny.
All right, our next guest. Ohio State lost the game, but this guy says the season isn't over until he says it's over. From Ohio State at the Voice of College Football and the Scarlet and Blue Show, we have Garrison. Garrison,
hey,
how you doing?
Good. First off to you too, because I haven't had a chance to say it to you, I believe. Congrats on the win, first off.
Oh, thanks. I wore my lucky shirt.
Yeah. Lucky is the word. Lucky is the word of the day.
Want to give us a rundown on your socials?
Yeah, man. Of course, you can find me at Buckeye_Gaddy. That's Daddy with a G on X. And my co-host on the Scarlet and Blue Show, Bryce at Bryce R. Sack. And then also on the Voice of College Football, you can find me there, and also find Ryan Stanos at it's R Stanos, I believe. Ryan Stanos on X also.
Nice. All right. Our next guest, last but not least, he ain't afraid of no mythical Nittany Lion. From Oregon Football at the Voice of College Football, we have Exploring with Ben and Sam, Ben Schellen. Ben, how you doing?
Well, I mean, you know, it's a great weekend when you down your rival, and that's why I said there's 3 of us that are happy up here and 3 very miserable people. And where the hell is Justin? I have to argue this whole you don't know what the hell you're talking about. picking Iowa to beat Nebraska. How dare you? Shut up, Justin.
Yeah, Justin.
All right. Well, okay, hold on.
That's awesome.
Justin has a good excuse tonight. It's Justin's birthday. He is out with his wife and his dogs. So I figured we could take a quick second. Actually, Ben, before I do that, where can everybody find you on the socials? Where do you like people to contact you?
No, he's running scared. He changed his birthday to avoid the show. Get it right. You can find me on the Oregon channel for the Voice of College Football. Going live later tonight with Big Ten Ted. Talk championship game.
Oh, cool.
Nice.
And then Exploring with Ben and Sam on YouTube also for my normal channel. Twitter, X, Instagram. I don't use any of them. Who cares? And how dare you also, really quickly, I have to say, how dare you exclude the Big 12 in your championships game conversation? As
I
you
don't think
say.
they have any ranked players, do they? Or
According
teams.
to ESPN, they don't matter. So.
How dare you? Arizona State versus Iowa State. Come on.
I don't know what I was
It
thinking.
is a ranked matchup.
Yeah.
Oh, is it? It's not in the top 12, though.
No, but
No.
they're
It's
fighting
not.
for the
It's not an
bye.
important game.
Yeah,
It's not an
they're
important
fighting
game.
for last place, is what they're
Nobody
doing.
cares about the Big 12. They're gonna get absorbed into the Big 10 and SEC here soon enough. Like, who cares?
I don't want
All
a bunch
right.
of mid teams coming to the Big Ten.
All right,
Why
guys.
did we let Washington and USC and UCLA in?
Speaking of Justin, since Justin is out for his birthday, I thought we could give him a good shout out for his birthday. Happy birthday, Justin. Hope you're having a good night out there with the dogs and the wife. I don't know if you guys want to say happy birthday.
Happy birthday,
Justin.
person.
Happy birthday. I was like, you don't want me to sing happy birthday.
Iowa's corn is still better.
Birthday,
No, you don't
Justin.
want
We
me.
love
All right.
you, man.
Yeah, Justin's a good guy. Glad to have him on the show. He will be back next week for our final episode for the season. So, to get started tonight, we're going to talk about some wrap-up kind of stuff. I know, Rob, you wanted to talk a little bit more about the Ohio State-Michigan game. Why don't we... wait, hold on. I'm sorry. It's just so nice to win. We lost that game, what, like 15 years in a row? Anyway, Rob.
That song is god awful.
Crap.
Give us some insight. What? What's your problem, Mac?
What you guys all froze on me. I thought I was disconnected. All right.
No, we're here. We're here. We're good. Rob, what did you want to say about the game? Uh-oh. We lost you, Rob.
Uh-oh.
No audio.
Rob, you're muted.
All right, there we go. I
There
forgot
we
to
go.
mute myself. So just highly, there's a reason ever since I was a kid, once made a prediction for this game. Call the score, never said who was going to win, never said who was going to lose, just waited to see what was happening. And this was the night before the game. I saw a short from Zach Smith, Menace to Football, and he said, "This is the game. This game does not matter about talent, doesn't matter about records. You can throw all that shit out." And he's right. That's literally what this is. It's going to be who wants it more. And, I was also, I think it was Joel Klatt talked to the Michigan camp before the game. And he said, "Hey, if we can get into a dogfight in the fourth quarter, then we'll win this game." And it's obvious that Michigan wanted it more. Ryan Day did everything possible to fumble this game away. I mean, I looked at the stats for this game. They had, I think, the 65th best passing defense in the country. Getting on the perimeter, getting all your athletes out in space was the key. And here he is. He has that little voice. He has that little whatever on his shoulder. I think it was he saw Josh Gaddis on his shoulder saying, "Your team's soft. They're not tough. They're finesse." That still lives with him to this day. And it made him freeze in the moment solely because of him and no one else. That there was a team meeting and some of the players led by Downs, and he did not apologize for he said, I don't regret it. This is what it was. And that's inexcusable. That was a time to be okay. I messed up. I thought we could win it this way. Why he thought he could win it that way. There's literally I just don't know how he thought he could win it that way, running towards 2 NFL ready linemen. And Garrison, I don't care what you say, man. I'm gonna take my shot. Mason Graham is generational. We will not see a defensive lineman like him in a while. I don't care what you say.
What?
He took over that game.
My gosh.
He won it. I like it, bro. I just don't. Him and Kenneth Grant are the reasons why he won. Peter,
he took your all Big Ten running backs and held them to nothing.
But
I'm gonna go next.
Generational.
I really do.
He's generational.
I will say this. Hats off to Michigan. You came into the shoe, very hostile environment. You not only took your business, you embraced it. And on the flag planting thing, they had every right to do it, but you should have waited till the players left the field. That's all I gotta say. If Ryan Day and the Buckeyes lose the first round of the playoffs, he's gone. And from what I'm hearing, Urban Meyer is really interested in coming back to coach Ohio State. And I rest my case.
Why can't that guy just leave and shut up and get off of freaking television? I can't stand his dumb face.
We feel the same about Desmond.
I get it. I like Desmond, but whatever. No, just Urban Meyer. Why would you want Urban Meyer back? He kicks players. He grinds up on women that he's not married to.
Hey Mac, we're not.
Or she grinds up on him.
We're not trying.
Well,
we're not trying to hire the pastor for the next mega church. We're trying to hire a college football coach to lead an elite program. That's what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, but you want a leader of men, and a real man grinds up on his wife, not a random woman.
Dig.
Well, here, let me throw this out there, and I honestly don't mean this as a dig, so please don't take it this way. But I kind of, as I'm watching that game, as it came to an end, I remember, and I'm pretty sure Garrison, I think it was you after the Indiana Ohio State game. No, it wasn't that one. I'm sorry. It was one of the games.
Such a long pause, and then no, it wasn't that one.
It wasn't that one. What game was it that Ohio State? It was within 5. No, I'm sorry. It was the Michigan-Indiana game. That's why I'm thinking Indiana. Garrison, you said this after the Michigan-Indiana game, that even though Michigan had a chance to win that game, winners find a way to win the game, and Indiana found a way to win that game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure that was you, which is a good statement. I love it.
That was me.
Okay. And so as the Michigan-Ohio State game is coming to an end, and this is why I don't mean it as a dig, I saw that Michigan found a way to win this game. What is interesting to me is, well, I mean, it's interesting to me that Michigan won it all because, as you guys said last week, the stats were not in any way in Michigan's favor. Ohio State, on paper, should have just destroyed Michigan. It should have been 28-7, 28-3 at the half. It should have been 45-10 at the end. So along with what Rob just said there, what happened to Ohio State? Why is it that Ryan Day can lead his teams to victory in all of those other situations, even against Oregon? I mean, that was a 1-point game against the number 1 team. Ben shaking his head. What do you think was the key to losing this game for Ohio State? How did Michigan just get in their heads? What happened?
All right, so the only thing I don't disagree with Rob on is that Ryan Day did a poor job. But I very much disagree on what the reasons are for. I don't think it's because anyone has a psychologically, yeah, it plays a part. But I don't think that's the reason why they lost. I'm not gonna sit here and just blame Ryan Day for what happened in that game. I think the reasons why they solely lost, Chip Kelly has been allowed to call his game all year. All year he's been allowed to do so. He was put in charge of the offense. The same way that Ryan Day put Jim Knowles in charge of the defense. Chip Kelly was calling plays in that game, and Chip Kelly was god awful. That's facts. Where Ryan Day's blame comes in is that he didn't sit there and say, stop, like, no, stop that. We keep running up the middle, knowing that our interior offensive line is not what it should be. And we're going against the best defensive tackle unit in the country. And Mason Graham who is the best defensive tackle in the country. We see that we're getting yards. We see Judkins run for 8 or 10 and 15 yards from the outside. Clearly, we can attack the outside. We stopped doing that. Before the half, we spread the field with our receivers and all our guys, all of our weapons. We go tempo, and even without tempo, we had success in the first half throwing the ball to the outside. It was very clear from the second PI, they can't defend Jeremiah. It was very clear. Happened twice in the end zone. And then you see on a play, Gus Johnson, he mentions it during the game. There's 3 wide to the right on the bottom of your screen. At the top of your screen, you can see Jeremiah Smith in single coverage, no safety over the top, and press. And they ran and they don't have the wherewithal to call a hot route, change the play, audible, any of that. They still run whatever. I think it was a halfback dive. Again, stupid to do that. You get to 3rd and 8, and a simple yes or no will suffice for everyone on this panel. On 3rd and 8, based off what you know about Ryan Day, would he ever run a halfback draw?
I wouldn't think so. No.
Doesn't seem like it.
That is Chip Kelly.
Yeah.
On the last drive of the game for Ohio State to go tie or win the game, the first set they come out of with 2 wide receivers and 2 tight ends. Does that sound like Ryan Day?
But Chip Kelly was brought to Ohio State to unlock this offense. That's the problem. That's what I'm talking about here. I'm not, because the same way this is what I've been telling people. We can't go full blame on Ryan Day for the offense and then say he gets no credit for the defense. We can't do that. So he hires these people, these position coaches, these coordinators for a reason. They are allowed to call their game. He decided that he wanted to be the overseer, which we're all happy he did, or at least as a head coach instead of calling plays. Mm-hmm. Chip Kelly was god awful. He was arrogant. He was plain. He was vanilla. It was stupid. His play calling was stupid. His formations were stupid. You're running tight sets all game. Why would you do that? No. Our kickers. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to say, because if you make those 2 field goals, buddy, you win the game. I was screaming at the top of my lungs. If we go up 13-10 in this game, we're winning, because now we're putting them in a position that Michigan has to go win, and they can't do that. I didn't believe in that moment in time they could go do that. That's true.
The defense. We are in a situation where we go interception, missed field goal, intercept the ball again, and we throw an interception. Will Howard has fault in this game too. Some Michigan fans have agreed with me. Other Michigan fans got really mad at me for saying this. Ohio State lost that game more than Michigan won it. And I was having a conversation with my best friend Lawson, and he said, "Bro, he said you can't say Michigan won it because that was the same team we saw all season. That's the same product we saw all season from them. It was."
Well, except for the defense.
And by the way, I do want to give your defense credit, but it was clear as day that Ohio State was calling a horrible game on offense and didn't help themselves at all.
Yes, that's absolutely true. Yeah.
And that's where I think that's the only pushback I would.
And I'm sorry, at the end of the day, it's Ryan Day's fault for not being the overseer and saying stop to Chip.
Yeah, right.
But here's the thing: how many keep blaming for what's happening with the game against Michigan or just in general? I mean, it was it was.
I'm blaming Ryan Day. I gave Ryan Day blame because he is the overseer. I'm saying I don't think it's an honest conversation if we just say Ryan Day, who is overall at fault because he is the head coach. It will always, you are the main guy. It's always going to fall on you. But I'm not going to do that and not sit here and say, "Oh, Chip Kelly, you've been the OC all year, haven't you?" I can't do that and think I'm being honest here. I think the only way I can be honest is say Chip Kelly called a horrible game, and Ryan Day is at fault. The same way he was at Oregon when the rest of the secondary gave up 162 yards, or the rest of the defense gave up 162 yards. Denzel Burke gave up 8 for 179. Give him help. Put someone else in. Do all that. That's Ryan Day's fault for not going to Jim Knowles and saying, stop doing that crap. The same thing happened against Michigan. The same thing on the other side of the ball.
But here's what I'm thinking.
Question.
I get what you're saying, but they're through all 4 losses, and he switched up staff. So it's just like, what now?
Mm-hmm. No,
he's got to find the right
itself.
staff, just like Harbaugh had to find the right staff. Ryan Day has to find the right staff.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say it like
Rob.
Yeah.
Did Ryan Day take over the play call from Chile or no?
No.
In this game, I'm honest question.
I feel like he did. I do.
Dude, all right, Rob. All right. Based on what you know about Ryan Day, would you ever believe he will come out with 50 seconds to go and pass with a 2 tight end set? What in Ryan Day's history tells you that he would do that?
I mean, from what I saw in the past, from what I saw in the past, he would come out with more wideouts and try to air it out.
And that's why, and that's why I can't see things for 4 years and then say no, now it's different now. No, clearly something is different, and it's Ryan Day's fault for even the same way I criticize Sharon Moore, the same way I've criticized James Franklin. I don't understand how in the hell you let that play come through your headset and you say okay. That's where I blame him.
I mean, maybe he's loyal to fault with Chip Kelly. I mean,
yeah, please. I'm talking too much.
All right, so Garrison said it, and Rob spoke well. Dude, the object worked for like 25, 30 yards. Never ran it again. The stretch play off the left side to hand it to 15 yards. Not again. You're going to run it a 300.
Peter, you're breaking up a
pounder
bit.
And a 325 pounder. No, thank you.
Yeah, Peter, we're getting like every other word.
I'm gonna have to jump off. It's not working out. I don't know what's going.
I was going to say the one pushback I'd give on the Ohio State lost this game more than Michigan won it is going back to that statement again. Winners finding a way to win. Mm-hmm. So Michigan wasn't dominated. They weren't, throttled at the line there at all. They managed to find a way to stay in this game and in the end win the game. So something's got to be said for that.
No, I'm not going to be a hypocrite. Yes, I do agree with that. But I also, but that is with that being said, I'm not going to say or not like look at the game for what it is.
Sure, yeah.
The offense threw an interception that went to the 2-yard line. A team 99.999 times they're going to score a touchdown. Then off another interception in the red zone, we give up a field goal. The 3 points that Michigan got off driving didn't come until the end of the game. They didn't move like the defense. The defense did what they did. I'm not the defense played very good, and Ohio State played into their strengths. Even Wink Martindale after the game said he was surprised they didn't attack them more. Even he said it.
Yeah, because
that is the obvious thing. Yeah, we all think the obvious thing to do. Seemingly, Chip Kelly and Ryan Day didn't.
Mm-hmm.
And then, again, I think one was 62 yards on 6 for 16. That's been him all year. 2 interceptions, no touchdowns. That's been him all year. Your running game. A lot of people give me pushback on this, but the run game wasn't like that. At the end of the game, I think it worked on those last 2 drives specifically because at that time Ohio State's defense was definitely getting tired. Definitely was because they're on the field the whole time. I think Mullins had 3.6 a carry, and before that 27-yard run, he had 2.7.
Yeah.
That offense was not moving the ball. They had 9 drives, 6 of them were under 20 yards. I just
6 of them were 3 and out, I think. 6 they had like 6 straight 3 and outs at one point, I think it was.
Yeah.
And the craziest stat of the game for me is the first drive you guys had 6 plays for 4 minutes and 25 seconds. I don't know how that happened. Which I guess give credit to them for, I guess, milking the clock. That's what you want to do.
They ran the ball 3 times. They took their time coming to the line to snap it, and then they converted the 3rd down.
Yeah,
and then got to run it 3 more times. Like that's all it was.
Yeah.
So let me ask you something though, Garrison.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
No, I was saying it's not so much I'm downplaying the Wolverines. It's more so me criticizing Ohio State.
Yeah. But like, okay, so let me ask you then, who was calling plays all year then?
Chip Kelly has been calling plays all year.
Chip Kelly's been calling plays all year. So then the reason why I feel like Ryan Day took over play calling is because if you look at Ohio State's season totals, Will Howard against Michigan had his lowest passing yardage total of the season at 175. That's insane. Michigan's secondary is, and this goes along with the play calling thing, but Michigan's secondary is easily the weakest part of that defense. So 175 yards for Ohio State against Michigan is bonkers. But not only that, but Quinshon Judkins had the most rushing yards for Ohio State against Michigan, and that was only 46. And that's the second lowest total for a game for Ohio State this year. And then Carnell Tate had 58 yards receiving, which is the lowest or the second lowest receiving yards in a game so far this year. I feel like Ryan Day took over play calling, and I feel like what he was trying to do was prove a point. Because for the past 4 years, he's been like told, "Hey, you're soft. Your team is soft. You're not winning in the trenches. You're not physical. You're not able to keep up with Michigan's physicality over all 4 quarters." And so he's like, "The hell I'm not," and decides to start running up into our tackles the entire time. Now, and I don't think he needed to do that. If he had won the game, if he had been winning these games since 2021 or the ones that he could feasibly win, then no one would be calling him soft because he's winning the games. I don't care how you win the games, just win the games. But this game, it looked like he was trying to prove a point. I mean, the entire time I'm watching it, I'm just like, even I'm like, why aren't you throwing the football? This is insane. Like it at one point kind of crossed my mind. Like I was actually kind of frustrated that they weren't doing more because I was like, I wanted Michigan to win because it was an incredible upset and a Herculean effort on Michigan's part, not because Ryan Day tucked tail and ran. But that's just kind of how it felt.
No, all right. So, like you brought up the totals, and again, a lot of that has to do with the plays that they were being called, the sets they came out of, and the run plays that and where they're running the ball. Quinshon Judkins had that yardage, man, because they kept running him up the middle. That's why.
That's correct. Yes.
If that was a Ryan Day called game, the ball gets thrown downfield more because that's what he does. He has an NFL mindset, and in NFL you push the ball. They didn't do that, and that's his fault. Like, and Rob, I don't know why you're upset. Ryan Day throws his quarterbacks, even with Cal McCord, the plays they call are the ball is pushed more down the field. That's a fact.
In 2000, let's go back to 2022 when it was clear, like when he went to Chip train him to try to play bully ball down the field, and it completely backfired.
That's not what I'm talking about. That's not what I'm talking about.
That's what I'm thinking about.
No, that's not what I'm talking about. I'm saying, Chip, dude, listen, again, I'm not going to sit here and just say that is on Ryan Day. If Chip Kelly has been allowed to call plays all season, he was against Nebraska too. Offense wasn't moving the ball, still did against Nebraska. I think it is I think it's a cop out. I think it's just easy to when Ohio State doesn't do well on offense, you automatically say Ryan Day. But when everything goes good, we say Chip Kelly. That and I can't sit here and say Ryan Day was calling plays when I saw obvious things that happened that Ryan Day would never do. He would never do. But what I do know, and Oregon fans told me this, Chip Kelly is a stubborn and arrogant coach when it comes to play calling. They told me this months ago, and I said I'll wait and see.
Too, yeah.
Oh,
And that,
how about that?
And that play calling was arrogant and stubborn. I just, man, I see 1 + 1. I see 2. I just, and we're again, because I don't want to sound like I'm taking away Ryan Day's fault. You are at fault for not being the overseer, and that's where you can't do that. You can't.
I wouldn't put it on Ryan Day because, well, I guess I don't know. Maybe I would put it on Ryan Day because he's the head coach. Like the buck stops with him.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, Ryan Day is against unranked teams up until Saturday was undefeated, and it was like something like 56-0 or 56-0 or something like that. I mean, he's trashing everybody that he's supposed to trash. He is a phenomenal head coach. He really is. I think that's what makes this game so confusing, and the entire experience was like watching a fever dream or something like that, where it made no sense. And if Chip Kelly is a stubborn play caller, then okay, that makes sense. He's trying something that's not working. And yes, you're right that Ryan Day needs to stop Chip Kelly and say, hey, we need to be throwing to the outside and stuff like that. But I guess the fact that he didn't is kind of why I still think like Ryan Day might just kind of want to, maybe it was during the game he was trying to delegate the pressure of play calling onto Chip Kelly, and he wasn't going to say anything to Chip Kelly because he figured, Chip's got to know what he's doing. There's got to be some second half adjustments here. And then if you remember, like halfway through the third quarter, Ryan Day gets that 1,000-yard stare on his face. And I feel like it's at that point that he's like, it's too late. We can't do anything. Chip Kelly is going to do what Chip Kelly is going to do, and it's not working, and he's not going to change. So then does Chip Kelly get fired?
No. I don't think he's gonna get fired. But like I said, I would liken this to a Jim Harbaugh, Don Brown situation. Jim Harbaugh is the overseer. You have Don Brown in most games. Yes, the scheme is going to work, but he's a very stubborn guy, and he's going to keep blitzing.
Yeah, that's true.
I see. But did we say, oh, this is like, yeah, the buck stops with Jim Harbaugh? But we gave the blame to Don Brown because clearly you call the plays. That's all I'm simply doing. You are Ryan Day is head man in charge, bro. Head naysayer in charge. But dude, there is somebody. Chip Kelly is the offensive coordinator for a reason, man. He has a job for a reason. Like I was
getting upset because it's just like I do feel like Ryan Day was trying to prove a point, man. That's all. I saw it in again the 2022 game. He kept trying to run, Chip train him, felt like he was trying to prove to be the tougher team because of that comment.
3 times in a row. 3 times in a row.
by that comment that was made by Lou Holtz, and then the year before 2021 with Josh Gaddis. This is a finesse team. They're not a tough team. So, I feel like he's been trying to win games in this game to prove a point and not play to the team's strength. I do get what you're saying about Chip Kelly, though. So,
and the worst part is, dude, we didn't have to win the rushing battle to win this game.
I made that prediction too.
And we're not talking about fielding enough. We're not talking about Jaden enough right now.
Well, okay, but here's the thing. I'm going to give Michigan's offense a little bit of credit too, though. They converted like 3 fairly high pressure third downs that kept the clock rolling. If Michigan doesn't do that, then Ohio State actually, I think, probably gets 1 or 2 more possessions and 1 or 2 more chances to win the game. So Michigan actually.
If I told you Michigan finished 6 for 16 on third down, what do you think the outcome is?
A 13-10 Michigan win.
No, good grief.
In retrospect,
I
can't stay.
Knowing what I know now,
I made a prediction. I think it was on the show that for the first time in forever, that the game would be won through the air, and that was just completely screwed up. It just felt like Ohio State had this chance, and they did before halftime. They said, "Hey, we're going to make you play our type of football, getting our our athletes out in space. We're going to run tempo. We're going to push it downfield with our strengths. And then I felt like they were going to come out and do that in the second half. And they're going to make Michigan, like, hey, I dare you to throw it. You have to throw it now. If Davis Warren doesn't play our best game, and that sadly that did not happen.
Crazy how we all knew that, but some odd reason our coach or like our head coach and offensive coordinator didn't know it.
Yeah. Let me wrap up the discussion here with and this can just be a yes or no, because I know this question, we've been asking it forever. Not forever, just the last couple of years. Is it natty or bust for Ryan Day's job? Yes or no?
No.
I'm gonna say that if he loses the first round, absolutely he's done. But I feel like the percentage drops the more he moves in the playoffs.
All right. Mac, what do you think?
I mean, if it's a first round exit, then but otherwise, no.
Ben, you have any thoughts on that one?
I think you're all just fucking delusional. That's all I can say. This whole like 35 minutes of this bullshit that you guys are spewing back and forth to each other. Anyways, no, he's not done. Unless he gets like blown out.
Right.
If he gets blown out in the first round or something by a
Forgive us for talking about the biggest rivalry in sports.
Yeah, wow.
Well, no, because I have the one the experience with Chip Kelly. But you're all delusional. And now if Ryan Day gets blown out by say like the G5 school in the first round at home, then I think then it's over. But otherwise, he's fine. He's fine.
All
right.
Can I close with this though?
Okay. One more thing. Yep.
It's so crazy that I hear the Ohio State fan base, even if Ryan Day wins the national championship, they want to see him gone. And Ryan Day has a chance to do the funniest thing, win the national championship, and say, peace. You guys want to win the biggest rivalry, and don't care about the national championship. I'm gonna leave. You find someone else to do it. I'm out.
I would forgive everything. I would forgive everything.
Yeah.
And to note, I'm sorry. Also, Ryan Day as the head coach is also 0-2 to Oregon, including a Mario Cristobal, Anthony Brown quarterback led team at home. So just let that sink in, Buckeyes.
All right, we're gonna leave that discussion there. We can move on to other stuff. Mac is gonna do a quick ad read. Mac, what do we got?
All right, we got Bite-Sized Advertising has graciously sponsored this show. Why? Because it's me, and I'm trying to get all the awareness I can for it. Attention small business owners. This holiday season, let Bite-Sized Advertising supercharge your sales. With our expert strategies and cutting-edge analytics, we'll make sure your products shine bright in this crowded marketplace or services. I should say services as well. Bite-Sized Advertising uses the power of artificial intelligence to do the work of a full commercial marketing team with just a fraction of the staff. This makes us far more efficient and ensures your business gets the attention it truly deserves. Visit Bite-Sized Advertising. That's BYTESIZED advertising.com today and unwrap your business's potential.
Excellent. The link is in the description, right?
Yes.
All right. Link is in the description. Thank you very much, Mac.
Thank you.
How's the weather on the other side of the state?
Sucks.
Dude,
it's cold over here, man.
Dude, yeah. Are you guys in that winter storm warning until Friday over there?
Yeah. Friday until 5 a.m. I think it is. We're expecting like 10 inches of snow, 50 mile an hour gusts. It's great.
I'm taking my board out tomorrow.
Yeah, that's nice. I want one.
All right. Before we get into our picks on the championship games, like I said earlier, we're going to do the ACC, the SEC, and the Big Ten. Before we do that, we're going to do a little bit of a season recap here. Just curious as to what you guys would put in these categories. Also in the chat, throw your picks out there too, and I will throw them up on the screen. But just going around the horn here, who do you guys have for the Big Ten Coach of the Year at this point?
Kurt Cignetti.
Dan Lanning.
Kurt Cignetti.
Dan Lanning.
Dan Lanning. All right.
He's undefeated.
It was expected, dude.
It was expected, and then he did it. It was expected for Ohio State to beat Michigan, but it didn't happen, did it?
Oh
tell me. Actually, no. I'll ask Cliff because he's the elder statesman here. Cliff,
my fellow football fans,
have you seen a better or greater coaching job in the Big Ten in your life than what Curt Cignetti did at Indiana?
As far as turning a team around?
Yes. And from what the expectations were.
I guess during my lifetime, no, probably not. The only one I can think of is maybe what Bo Schembechler did in '69, but that's before my time.
Because I thought what last year happened.
Don't lie. That's during your time.
It's close. But
believe it or not, it is just before his time.
Who else would there be?
I would say maybe last year the coach at Northwestern.
Oh, David Brown.
Yeah, that was like at the time in my lifetime. I told everybody that was the best coach performance I've ever seen in my life because that's because of what the expectation was, everything they went to that season. But what Indiana did, what Curt Cignetti did, that's impressive. That's as impressive as it gets.
Did Curt Cignetti
that was a big
go
turnaround.
12-0?
It doesn't that doesn't matter to me right now, dude. Indiana went 11-1, bro.
I know. Give it.
You know who else?
Curt Cignetti, whatever.
Actually, I take it back. You know who you could pick is Nick Saban. Nick Saban went to Alabama in what, 2004? 2004, 5?
2000, yeah, and they were terrible.
And they were terrible. Yeah, they were looking to get back to their early days when they were killing it, and they were a middle average team. Nick Saban comes in, and now they're the gods of football.
Yeah, but this is the Big Ten Coach of the Year. You said
big,
coaching experience. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
I skipped over that. I know. Even as a Duck fan, sorry, Lanning's been there. This is his third year. He's been building up for this to a degree. The transfer portal changes everything. Cignetti brought a lot of his players he has, but Cignetti definitely has to be Coach of the Year for the Big Ten. Has to be.
He did what Dion did in a harder conference and in one last year.
Because he knows what the fuck he's doing.
So our guy who keeps changing his name.
That bleep button, or
all
right. All right. That's
put it in the swear jar.
So we got Big Ten Indiana coach, ACC Mike Norvell for how hard they fell off. SEC, honestly, Vandy coach for even getting them to 6 wins and beating Alabama.
Yeah, they beat Alabama. Give Vandy. He's coach of the whole thing, the national coach of the year. That's what I'm looking for.
Who else? Yeah, there you go. Wait, who else did they beat? They beat somebody else. Vandy did.
I don't know.
Well, they had to have beaten 5 other people because they're going.
No, I mean they had another
5
big
other
win,
teams.
I thought.
They didn't beat any people. If they did that, people would be going to prison.
No, no. That's just what happened in Columbus.
I like that name. Dark Ducky says he agrees with Mike Norvell. May this year ever live in infamy for what not to do.
No. Mike Norvell doubled down. He saw Chip Kelly losing to Michigan and was like, "I'm going to hire Gus Malzahn to be my OC. Let's recycle that thing. Let's do it."
Nevada here says Auburn. Vandy must have beat Auburn also.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Okay, and they stink. So
James Wilson says Indiana coach is coach of the year. So I'm thinking he's coy. What? He's not
coy?
Talking to people? What?
Yeah.
I don't like the cut of that guy's jib.
Yeah. All right, let's go to. That was coach of the year? I didn't coach. Oh, I skipped one. I meant to go to game of the year first. Let's go to game of the year. So if you guys had to pick your favorite, and we'll stick with the Big Ten, favorite Big Ten game this year, which one would it be? So
bias or unbiased?
Whatever you prefer.
Nothing that you're going to say is unbiased. So.
You'll be surprised.
I feel like, let me go first here. I feel like you want to say the difference between biased and unbiased. I really do feel like the Michigan-Ohio State game is probably the best game I saw this year.
I actually thought like visually, optically, like aesthetically, I thought it was a horrible game to watch.
No. But I mean, just for excitement.
Oh, yeah.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
So
what do you guys got?
I have Oregon, Ohio State.
I second that.
I can see that. So there you go for the optics and well-played game. Yeah, that's a good one there. Ben, what do you think?
I third that just because, I agree with Garrison on that. Optically, that I even tweeted, I was like, this game is disgusting to watch.
Dude,
the
it
Michigan
was
Ohio State game. It was
Michigan
absolutely disgusting to watch. But great game, but just yeah, I think it is the Oregon Ohio State game just because of the way, especially the way it ended, just full dramatics, everything. I mean, granted, there wasn't pepper spray involved, but
which, by the way, was excessive.
That was excessive.
If you haven't been pepper sprayed, have you even played football?
No, but I have been pepper sprayed.
You haven't lived yet. You have not lived yet,
dude. No,
You've been pepper sprayed?
Yeah, well, I was in the Navy. You got to do it, and honestly, I would do it. I would do it again and go to the course. It was so much fun. So much fun.
Yeah, it's the CS gas chamber in the Army.
Dude, oh, so much fun.
Just
the gas chamber was fun.
Just not pouring
just running, doing this.
Yeah. Such a good time.
Mac, what was your favorite game?
I can't relate to anything they just said. I mean, Ohio State, Michigan was definitely a fun one, but it was kind of like watching David and Goliath, only both of them are drunk. So I don't know. I mean, that's pretty cool, I guess. You're just
I'm not scoring a touchdown if you don't score a touchdown.
I'm not scoring a touchdown if you score a touchdown. Do you like my fling?
Oh, nice interception. Hold my beer.
Well, we made a joke about that. Was it in 22 or 23? We made a joke about that, saying that for Michigan, touchdowns are nice too. You don't have to get field goals all the time.
What?
What was it? I think it was in 22. It was like 80% of the points they got were from field goals.
Oh, yeah.
I don't like it anyway. That's not a real stat. That's just my stat.
Well, no, yeah. But
I may have to change my opinion here in a second. If I can find it real quick. Keep going.
Well, like optics wise, I don't know. I can't. Like, I'm trying to think of a Big Ten game this year that, like, I guess other than Oregon, Ohio State, that was just like, dang, both of these teams are playing really well. Who's going to come out on top? Somebody's going to out scheme the other one. I don't know. But the first game that like comes to mind, if I'm thinking of a game where I was just entertained by relatively decent play all the way through, would be Michigan State, because it honestly, it wasn't a bad game. Like, Michigan's offense really, they actually played pretty well, and Michigan State's offense played extremely well until they got into the red zone. And frankly, in terms of a surprising outcome, yeah, that was a fun game to watch, honestly. Colston Loveland balled out. I wasn't mad at it. Davis Warren went 13 for 19 with a touchdown, so that's a good game for him.
Yeah, the ranked matchups were few and far between, weren't they? So a lot of the games were either blowouts or not that good.
Oh, and the other thing is Donovan Edwards had a touchdown pass in that game too against Michigan State.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. So, first time since the Big Ten championship,
Right.
Yeah.
I'm just here searching I'm just going through the weeks real quick. It's like, is this something I forgot about?
Yeah, Shepherd Ducks. USC versus LSU. That was the first game that came to my mind. And if LSU were a Big Ten team, then yeah, I would totally say that was a good one. I feel like everybody looked at USC like, oh, are they in contention for the Big Ten? Like, they looked good. And LSU, frankly, looked good too.
What about the Ohio State Penn State game?
No, we dominated that game from the second quarter on.
I can't get past the 3 straight runs on the 2-yard line that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
I can't get past it. James Franklin just I can't even, man. It is such a James Franklin thing to do, to fall ass backwards into the Big Ten championship game. Like, I don't know, man.
That's another situation, Mac. Another situation where I'm sitting here asking, how did, like, Kodo Nicky's been calling plays all year. How did you let that play come through your headset?
Yeah,
you didn't get you wait till 30, till 4th down to give Warren the ball after.
I have an easier time believing that James Franklin tucked tail and didn't change a play call than I do Ryan Day tucking tail and not changing a play call. Because Ryan Day, at the very least, like, he's a smart guy. Like, I feel like he knows what to do. And so, but James Franklin, I don't see him. I don't see him, like, manning up and saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to throw the ball or something. I don't know.
So I have a game.
All right. Okay.
Well, I have a game I saw, and it's kind of, and I would argue it's equally or maybe more of a shock value than what Max said about the Ohio State Michigan game, which of course is a shock value. Indiana, Nebraska, because I think we were all surprised. I don't know, like that happened because we saw Indiana playing all these weak teams and they're blowing people out. They're playing okay defense. They're still good on 20 points plus. And then they come out against Nebraska, who overall has more talent, and they just dog walk them. And that's when I was like, oh, crap. Like, I'm not gonna lie, there was an oh crap moment that I had at that moment.
Mm-hmm.
I got another one too, just really briefly, not because of prejudice, not because of bias or whatever. Prejudice.
Prejudice.
That's the wrong word. Ban that from the show. Erase that. Oregon, Wisconsin. That was quite the nail biter there.
Yeah,
especially for Oregon fans.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That was a really good game. I forgot about that one. I watched that all the way through.
That game was interesting because I didn't even feel like Oregon's offense was like playing poorly. I thought that Wisconsin's defense just really stepped up.
Wisconsin took everything they had and said, "Let's wreck this team's season."
Yeah,
that's literally what their game plan was, and they were
almost did it.
They were potentially that close to doing it. I mean,
yeah.
And then Michigan said, "Hey, let's try that."
Hey, I wonder if that would work against Ohio. I don't know. I'm about 5 beers in. My slingshot's empty. I don't know. I just don't know.
All right, let's narrow this down a little bit. Big Ten Player of the Year. We all have our favorite players that we like to watch, of course, but who do you think really stood out this season? And let's talk. One. Well, speculate. Who's a dark horse for the Heisman? Who's your Heisman pick?
There's only one quarterback in the Big Ten that went into Columbus and beat Ohio State, and that is Davis Warren, Big Ten Player of the Year.
No, he is not, dude. He's the reason why they sucked.
Look how biased.
Fight me. No, he isn't. Okay. Hold up. He is not the reason they sucked. He is part of the reason they sucked.
I thought I pushed Buckeye propaganda, but you take the cake, man.
I will have no Davis Warren slander on this channel. He's just recently became one of my favorite Michigan players to ever put on the
Wait a minute. I'm sorry, but he needs to stay humble. Getting up from that podium, if you don't want us to plant the flag, then don't lose the game. Yeah, you're not the reason. Like, you're not the reason they won the game.
He's like Samaj Morgan last year.
You're not the main character, dude. You're not even close to it.
Yeah, but they won.
Well, they did fire their OC. They did fire their OC, so I mean, there's maybe benefit for Warren progress being made. Okay, look, out of bias, of course, I would say, Dylan Gabriel is the commander of the undefeated team. But if you want to really say Player of the Year, it's going to be Tyler Warren. I think for Penn State. I mean, you're a tight end and you're doing everything on the field for this team. The wide receiver the top wide receiver has 35 catches. That's it for wide receiver room for Penn State. Wow, Tyler Warren's throwing a touchdown pass. He runs the ball. He takes snaps. The man does like everything that you can do on the field for that team. That is literally the only reason Penn State's probably where they are.
That's honestly a really good point. Like when you think about Penn State, you don't even really hear Nicholas Singleton's name anymore. I think he's been banged up this season. And then where did Drew Allar go? Whatever. Where did he go?
They have bad receivers, dude.
Yeah, and you never hear of any of their receivers. Like I feel like the only person you hear from with Penn State is what was his name? You just
Tyler
Warren. Tyler Warren. Yeah, I immediately forgot it. Wow. Yeah. Anyway, but actually, so I was kind of thinking about it though. Like maybe if we were talking freshman of the year though, like I actually think Jeremiah Smith is in contention.
He already won it.
He was.
Yeah.
Oh, did he really?
He won freshman of the year in the Big Ten. Yeah.
Well, how about
and wide receiver of the year.
See, this is why I should be on these committees because apparently.
Okay, David Warren, Player of the Year.
I want to give it to Caleb Downs, man. I want to give it to Caleb
Downs,
who Jake Butt called him the boogeyman. So
That's the thing. I feel like we could sit here and basically name off everyone on Ohio State's roster and say, yeah, but this person has, like Will Howard had or could have probably laid claim to it. I mean, Caleb Downs, JT Tuimoloau had a decent season. I mean, Jeremiah Smith, Carnell Tate.
How has nobody said Caleb Johnson? How has nobody said Caleb Johnson?
Or Caleb Johnson, yeah, but I don't know. I just feel like we could go around Ohio State's entire roster, and it's still just like they lost to Michigan.
Like I think that like
how did that happen?
I don't know.
And we circled around,
but it's like I think the quarterbacks are a little bit more grouped up together. I think if you were to take Curtis Warwick, Will Howard, and Dylan Gabriel, they all have stats that they are better than the other at. So I think it's too close. You look at defensive end or defensive lineman. I mean, Uyunglele, he leads. I think he leads in sacks, but it's him. Then someone has 10 to his 10.5, then 8.5. Like there's a lot of guys in that wide receiver. Only one person went over 1,000 yards. I'm not going to say that Jeremiah he probably is the best player in the Big Ten, but I'm not going to call him. He's not player of the year. But I think Caleb Johnson, for what Iowa is and for what the responsibility he was given, I will always, and maybe this is me being like a Big Ten old timer. I give a lot of props to whoever leads the Big Ten in rushing yards. I give a lot of, especially for someone who's on a team like Iowa.
It's hard to do. It is. It's very hard to do.
All right, why don't we get into some picks then? Oh, I'm sorry. Let's. I guess I wanted to ask you guys: is Will Howard then still? You think he's in the running for the Heisman?
No.
No.
With 2 picks against Michigan, one of which was a touchdown.
Well, picks are going to happen.
Or sorry, it wasn't a pick 6, but like it set him up for the touchdown. Like no, he lost it against Michigan.
Clip, I hope my face says it all.
It looks like a no.
And I was a conductor on the Will Howard to New York train. He no.
No. All right.
I like Nevada Buck and Kirk Barton are felons. Julian Fleming is going to the Big Ten title game, not as a thing in red.
Ohio State doesn't wear red.
Yeah, they wear scarlet. But still.
Scarlet and gray. No, all right. Let's get into our picks. Bada boom. Oh, and there I am. Big one again.
Oh, that guy.
Oh. Why does it do that?
What's wrong with my light? There we go.
This goes over here. All right, here is where we stand.
I wonder 80?
Still in first, baby.
Yeah, Rob is still in the lead. Then we have Justin, 82. Ben is at 80. Garrison, you're down at 79.59. Then the positioning didn't change at all this week because there was only slight changes. Peter's at 77. Mac, you're down there at 73. But as you like to tell us, you have the most actual wins because of the most games called.
Yep.
I'm never picking Nebraska
talks about
again. Efficiency.
So what was that, Rob?
I'm never picking Nebraska again. I don't care who it is. I'm not doing it. It cost me
that was depressing
twice this season in my win-lose column.
The interesting stat from last week is that Ben was the only one to pick Iowa over Nebraska, and Mac was the only one to pick Michigan over Ohio State.
You weirdos.
Hey.
Sometimes
Max strikes again.
Peter is going to be in the chat for us. His internet is doing strange things, so he's not going to be able to get back online, but he is in the chat. So Peter is with us in spirit.
No, he's really there.
Dude, I wish you guys could see this right now. This is crazy.
Got a lot of snow going on?
Dude, no, it's just rain.
Oh, rain.
Oh,
I'm not going to work tomorrow.
Neither am I.
The first game I want to talk about or look at is the ACC championship game. You've got number 17 Clemson versus number 8 Southern Methodist. Clemson has been all over the place this season. I looked at their AP ranking, and they've just been going up and down the chart all season. SMU has actually climbed into the CFP top 12 just last week. So like I was saying before, we don't have to pick scores necessarily unless you want to, but we're going to, if you guys want to give your winners and losers and why you think that's going to be the case, let's do that. And we will start with Rob. Rob, what do you think?
So Clemson has been a pretty inconsistent team. They well, first off, they got blown out against Georgia at the beginning of the season. I think it was 30-3. And then I have no idea what happened against Louisville. And who was the other team they lost to?
Oh, hold on, I just had it. South Carolina.
And then they lost to South Carolina. You know, I'm not. You know, they brought in Garrett Riley to run this offense. It just does not look good. I think that SMU is as the newcomer to win the ACC. So give me SMU. I don't have a score though.
That's fine. We'll go like that. Justin's not here. Ben, let's go over to you. What do you think about this one?
Yeah, I agree with everything that was just said. It's like, SMU lost early to BYU on the road, one possession game. And since then, they've just pretty much done what they need to do. Clemson's just kind of been up and down, up and down. What Cade Klubnik are you going to get? Are they going to really be focused? At the same time, I would like Clemson to win because that would really screw Miami out of any chance at the playoff. Suck it, Cristobal's. But SMU's got this. I have to lean SMU. I don't have a score for it, but I think SMU's got it.
All right. See, one of the reasons I picked this game is because I thought maybe if Clemson had a chance, they would get themselves into the playoffs. But it sounds like you guys don't think that's going to happen. Garrison, what do you got?
All right, so yeah, I mean, Ben's right. I mean, I don't know what Clemson is going to show up. I don't know what Klubnik is going to show up. I mean, if they show their worst, they're going to get blasted. They're going to get blasted. But I think if they play up to the skill level they have, the potential they have, then I think they would win it. I mean, look, I'm looking at it right here. SMU's winning against Louisville. That's a good win, 34-27. Lost to BYU. My instinct, like my brain is telling me Clemson's going to win this game. But I'm going to go with SMU. I'm going to go with SMU. Shout out to all you Methodists out there.
Peter picked Clemson. He just texted me.
Oh, all right.
That's doesn't count.
Oh, we're letting it count.
I'm just kidding.
The matchup predictor has it's fairly tight. It's 46-53, 46.3 to 53.7%.
You just put it in for SMU. It's actually he picked Clemson.
Oh, Clemson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He has poor judgment. So
if I was a betting man, though, I'm definitely taking that Clemson plus 2.5. I'm definitely taking that.
Yeah. Mac, what do you think?
So, I mean, back when Clemson lost to Louisville, everyone was like, oh my gosh, the sky's falling. Like Dabo Swinney's on the hot seat. And then SMU beats Louisville, and everybody's just like, oh my gosh, that's such a great win, you guys. You guys did so good. Look at you. You guys are beating ACC teams. Oh my gosh. Like, no. You look at SMU's schedule right now, and their best win is BYU.
No,
BYU is
They lost that.
They did. It's not even BYU.
That's Louisville.
They're well rested.
No.
And BYU has a bunch of grown men.
SMU hasn't played anybody. Clemson, Dabo Swinney knows what it takes to win big games most of the time ish. Sometimes. I'm taking Clemson.
He's taking Clemson.
I know I should take Clemson in this. I know I should.
Do you want to switch it? You got 5 seconds.
No, we're not allowed. We're not allowed to. Per Matt.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, you're allowed to. This is no stop.
Yeah, we're sticklers for the rules around here.
Mhm.
All right. Let's look at the SEC, which has been very strange this year too.
Woof.
Georgia was number 1 when this whole thing started. Now they're number 5. Texas has been all up and down 1 through 6. They have been number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5, and number 6. They currently sit at number 2 with an 11-1 record. Georgia is 10-2. Let's see here. Well, let's go back up to Rob. Rob, what do you got?
So a good amount of people. Well, when Peter and I doing our show, I was calling, and on TikTok, I was calling my shot to not count out that Georgia Bulldogs defense. They predicted to have like 4 to 6 first rounders on there, and I was calling my shot that they were gonna handle business against Texas, and they did. Now I'm kind of adamant on picking them again because it's hard to beat a team of that caliber twice. But Kirby Smart is a top 5 head coach. He's got a lot of defensive talent. I think that the only way that Texas has a chance against this defense is if everything goes downhill with Quinn Ewers quick, that they take him out and put him. But give me Georgia.
Is Quinn coming back?
Wait, I didn't know is he hurt?
Yeah, I think he's done for the season.
He's done for the season.
Whoa.
I'm very. Or maybe I'm wrong, but I'm very sure.
We need to look at that because I was like, no, I think he's. I thought they said he was back. He
had an MRI. I'm sorry, he had an MRI, right? That's what it was. No, I think I'm wrong.
Yeah. I was like, he's back.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, okay. Continue.
I was like, whoa.
Yeah. Kirby Smart really knows how to win these big games. I think that, and against Tennessee as well, completely dominated Tennessee. He knows how to show up for the big games. He still has an Alabama problem. That's fine. But give me Georgia again. I just think that defense is way too much. They're elite. And don't look at that first half against Alabama. Look at the second half. All right.
All right, what I've got here is that the matchup predictor is giving Georgia a 38.5% chance to win this game. It looks like the report on Quinn Ewers about an hour ago was that he practiced on Monday after playing through pain.
Yeah, he's taped up, I think.
So,
he's really taped up.
It is hard to beat a team twice.
And it's at Mercedes-Benz Stadium, which is pretty much a home game for Georgia.
Mm-hmm. All right. All right, Ben, what do you got?
This one's tough. This is kind of the same thing. It's like, what quarterback's going to show up? Are you going to have Carson Beck throw 3 picks? Or are you going to have Arch Manning take over and run the ball wild on him? Georgia's defense, though, were they focused or not? 8 overtimes against Georgia Tech? Come on. I don't know. That one still raises questions. I don't know if they just weren't focused. It's exactly. It's in Atlanta. Kirby Smart. I have to take Georgia, I think, in this one also.
Oh, all right. Garrison.
When you beat the Georgia Bulldog, you're gonna feel a bulldog bite.
Look, I know.
Strike.
I know that's Rack'em Willie. I it's very hard to beat a team twice. But then again, not too long ago in the near past, Washington found a way to do it. Utah found a way to do it. I forgot who they beat twice in one season. Both of them did, but that's crazy.
USC.
Yeah, it was USC, and then dang, who did Washington beat twice last year?
By 3 points each time.
I think in a game like this, Kirby Smart is gonna have these guys ready to play. Texas is a very good team, a playoff caliber team, of course. Even though I think if they lose this, no, they're still gonna be in. I think if they lost last week, they've been out. But I think that Georgia's a better football team than them. I think flat out they are better than them. I think they're going to beat them twice. I think Kirby Smart is going to coach one hell of a game. I think Sarkisian's going to call a good game too. I just think that when it comes down to it, I just trust Kirby in bigger situations. Even though I think both of them are playing with quarterbacks who you can't trust.
So who do you got?
Georgia.
Oh, Georgia. All right.
Yeah, you wanna feel a bulldog bite?
Oh, that's right. I forgot. My brain
I
doesn't
also
work that long.
also with Carson Beck, I don't think he's thrown one interception in like 3 games. So
yeah. Rob, have you heard from Peter?
Rob just jinxed him.
Oh yeah. He picked Georgia.
He picked Georgia. All right.
He was about to pick Texas, and I reminded him where the game is at. So
Mac, are you even paying attention? What are you doing? What do you got?
Texas.
Now Texas is going to win. Great.
Yep.
Good love a coin flip.
See, here's the thing. You guys are all saying, it's difficult to beat a team twice in a row. And speaking as a Michigan fan, it's absolutely true. 4 in a row is super easy, apparently. 2 in a row, yeah, that's difficult.
So is
I
9.
don't quite understand it. But that being said, and I don't know why I'm picking Texas, because I'm reading this article about Quinn Ewers' injury, and Steve Sarkisian's like, no, it's okay. We'll bring in Arch Manning for running packages. And as a Michigan fan, I'm like, don't do that. That's a terrible idea. What are you talking about right now, dude? But I'm still going to pick them just because they're my pick to win the national title, honestly. I think that they're going to do it this time. Carson Beck's been all over the place. That Georgia defense looked dreadful against Georgia Tech. I got Texas.
Hey, man, only 2 things come out of Texas, and I don't know if these Longhorn guys are steers. So I don't know if they're steers.
So in this case, so I know that one of the things they were talking about with Ohio State, that losing to Michigan may actually help them in the playoffs, because they're saying that so your top 4 teams or top 5 teams have a first week bye, right?
Yeah.
And what Ohio State has, so the idea then is that if you're in 6th place, you actually have a easier, smoother route through the playoffs.
Not us. If it was today, we're talking Tennessee than Oregon.
Yeah, no, 5th place. Okay. 5th place was like Arizona State, Boise State.
Yeah, I think 5th place is what.
And I wouldn't want that. I don't want the easiest path to the championship.
What?
No, I don't. It's the competitor in me. It's the old football player in me. I don't want the easy route. And some people need to pay taxes. Some bills are due. Now we got to wait 362 days now to go get those bills collected from you guys up in Ann Arbor. But Georgia, you got bills. Oregon's got bills.
And I think they defaulted on his loans.
That's a good point, though, because I think one of the things that people are going to complain about coming out of the playoffs is that the top 5 teams don't have to play as many games. So they're going to be rested when we get into the quarterfinals.
They don't, but at the same time, hey, first rounders, right? You get a bye. Well, Guess what? So do the 5th through whatever round, for the most part, not entirely, but the first round buys get a bye. Everyone else gets a bye because the other teams are playing the championship week. Now, maybe more preparation.
That's true too.
Now, maybe there's more preparation for the first round bye because they get to just study those 2 teams more.
Right.
So there's a little more preparation, but I mean, everyone still gets technically a bye in a way. So
that's a fair point. Yeah.
That easy route thing, dude. Did any of you guys ever watch Dragon Ball Z?
No, I was more of a Yu-Gi-Oh guy myself.
Okay. Well,
I'm gay, and I still don't watch that crap. My God! What is happening?
Wow, I didn't see that coming at all.
No, but in the Majin Buu series, Vegeta, he gets taken over, and he's really mad at Goku. They're about to fight, and he says to Goku, "You have taken my honor, and those debts must be paid." That's exactly how I feel about a lot of teams in college football right now. I hate that Oregon's beating us. We were 9-0. 9-0. Now we're 9-2.
10-2.
Horrible. No, 9-2 against them. Oregon had never beaten us until 2021.
Oh, I see. You mean in that series?
That's why I said Ryan Day is 0-2 against Oregon.
They had never beaten us.
All right. All right, guys, the game that we're supposed to be talking about, the Big Ten Championship coming up here. Number 3, Penn State in the CFP going up against number 1, Oregon, the only undefeated team in the entire league. And what did I just do? Okay. Right now, the
That's
FBI
what Ryan Day
predictor
said after the Michigan game.
Oh, shut up, Mac.
What happened? What was it? Was it Bryce said he was doing a Joe Biden out there?
Oh my god! Dude, it took every ounce of me to try and just fight that and not laugh. I was stone cold facing that, but inside, tears of laughter.
So Penn State has been working hard all season long to get into the national conversation. Darn it! Oregon, Ohio State, Michigan, and Indiana all exist. But Penn State happens to find their way in. Someone said Penn State getting into the Big Ten championship because Ohio State suddenly couldn't beat an unranked team is the most James Franklin way of getting into the Big Ten championship.
It is. It's disgusting to watch.
Meanwhile, Oregon found their way to number 1 in week 9 and has been there ever since. What's fascinating about this, looking at the spread there, is 3.5 in favor of Oregon, but the matchup predictor has Penn State with a 54% chance of winning. So the FPI is picking Penn State. Vegas is picking Oregon.
Hold on, hasn't Oregon been number 1 since like week 5?
No, I think it's week 9. I'm pretty sure.
I think it was after they
didn't
beat
put
Ohio
them above Texas. They didn't.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
When Texas lost to
okay.
Georgia.
That's right. Anyways,
so Vegas and the FPI are at odds with each other. Ironically, I want to know what you guys think. Rob, what do you got? Penn State or Oregon?
So my wife and I are heading down there. It's $21 a ticket, so that should just say right there what the worth of this game is going to be. And it's gonna. There's a reason why it's dirt cheap to go down there. So give me Oregon by a lot. But it would be I will say it would be absolutely hilarious to have to pay $21 a ticket just to see Penn State pull it off. I would just die.
Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, it's a number 1 versus number 3. I mean, this is a big game, and it's $21 a ticket.
This has like playoff seeding implications and everything.
Yeah.
But how did Penn State get to that 3? It's not because they kept on winning. It's because everyone else kept on losing.
Right.
he's also got tickets in the standing room, outdoor, the arena, bar area. That's why.
Oh, I'd be watching it on the big screen.
Yeah.
In the restaurant.
And
sure.
not included, so. Nor drinks.
Nor drinks. All right, Ben. Let's have your unbiased opinion here. Who's winning this game?
I know this is. I mean, this is tough. I'm.
Wait a minute. Where's your crown?
I have to. When we win the championship, then the crown will come back permanently.
Wow, Ben.
So
I'm surprised you being calm on this.
That's why I just have the parrot cup.
I don't get it.
It
does. It's a new mug. I got
let
it
him,
from a
let
bar.
him have
It's a new mug.
Oh, okay.
And we have it.
Like birds.
Michigan.
I get it. I respect that. All right.
I'm happier to see Penn State, I think, than Ohio State again, because we've seen what Ohio State and Oregon could look like. Penn State, the biggest thing is they move the ball. They can't finish in the red zone. Oregon has to have a game plan to just limit Tyler Warren, pressure Drew Aller. Easier said than done. I think it will be closer than people think it will be, but yeah, of course I'm going to take the Ducks. We're gonna come in and we're gonna take the Big Ten by storm, and y'all have to call us daddy for at least a year.
Yeah, I gotta say, I did not expect Oregon to come in and rule the Big Ten like this.
I did.
You did, Garrison?
He predicted Will Howard to slide with 0 seconds on the clock.
I had one of my more viral posts. I said in 3 to 5 years that Oregon and Ohio State would be at the top of this conference, and I said, and a lot of Big Ten fans need to understand the progress is probably going to be sooner than they think for Oregon. and then Rich Eisen put LOL on it. Well, Rich, well,
I mean, Ohio State's in 4th place.
and we're the second best team in the conference. Ain't that a doggone shame?
All right, Garrison, keep going. Who do you got for this game?
Rooted in substance, not flash.
Look, man, that first off, that's one of the coolest quotes I've ever heard in my life. Rooted in substance, not flash. My gosh, dude, Dan Lane's awesome. We'd love to get a beer with him someday. I think they're gonna win this because not just because they're better, but because of that guy right there who was talking. Dan Lanning, I mean, he's not a rising star. He is a star. He's one of the best coaches in college football. Arguably, you could say he's top 5 right now. I think it's fair to say he's the best coach in the Big Ten right now. Actually, no, he is the best coach in the Big Ten right now. They have Burt. Burt. He's back and healthy. 8.5 sacks in the year. You have Uiagalelei, of course, we said earlier, 10.5 sacks in the year. Like those two are dogs. They were the best offensive tackles in the country, in the country. A transfer from Michigan State, Ben
Harmon.
Thank you. I think that they will be able to move the ball in Penn State. Penn State does have a really good defense. They do. So it's going to be really interesting to see how they challenge Oregon's offense. Oregon's defense as a whole is not great. And if you're going to attack Oregon, you have to attack them in the secondary. The top 5 starters, the 3 corners, the 2 safeties, only one of them is over 5'10", and he is 5'10". Everyone else is 5'9". So if you're going to attack them, you have to do it in the way that Ohio State did, and that's through the air with wide receivers and talent like them. They don't have that at Penn State. And I think that they're going to have to run the ball much better than they have all season to beat Oregon, and I don't think they can. So quack, quack.
Quack, quack. All right, I got you down for Oregon. Rob, did Peter give you a pick?
Yeah, looking it up right now.
Peter, pick a peck of ducks.
That was funny.
Talk about a tongue twister.
Wait, can you say it 3 times fast?
Oregon.
No, I can't say it 1 time fast.
He picked Oregon.
Oregon. All right.
Smart man.
All right, Mac. You got another quarter?
Oh, shoot.
Are you going to work for this one?
No, we're not. I don't work. What are you talking about? I've been spewing nonsense all season long. You think that's just going to change now?
You can always hope. I don't know.
No, it's not going to change. I'm the one that gets us clicks. You guys are the ones that get us, loyal viewers.
I'm amazed this is father and son. I can see what the problem is.
Oh, what is it?
He doesn't work.
Well, yeah.
I can see.
He's lazy.
Anyways, flip the coin.
I don't know. I don't want to know where that was headed. I'm just going to choose to believe the best. Here we go.
Out there on the other side of the state, living his own life. I don't know what's wrong with him.
Trusty Dusty Court. I don't know either. My wife might know. Actually, she doesn't know. And she chose this.
Don't blame her.
This is...
You tricked her into marrying you. You know it.
I did.
That's like Ohio State. That's like Ohio State fans not blaming Ryan Day.
No, what happened was actually it's very similar to what happened at Ohio State because Ohio State looked at all of the players and said, "Hey, we've got money," and they said, "Money? Okay, money." And my wife looked at me and I said, "I'm getting my master's," and she said, "That sounds like money." Okay.
Is Max still going? Okay, he's done. Okay, I'll watch him when I'll watch on the replay. I don't know what was going on. I just didn't want to hear anything bad about Ohio State.
I was going to say in the same way. I mean, Sam's getting his second master's degree. I'm like, hello.
There you go.
Okay. Flip the coin.
Money.
What do you got, man?
Yeah. I don't got money. Yeah, here we go. Oh shit.
Oh no.
Jesus Christ. Or coordination.
Ryan Day in the fourth quarter right there.
Yeah, that looks like Penn State.
Really?
I I mean, you guys all picked Oregon. Somebody's got to pick Penn State.
Somebody's got to pick the other
Look,
team. Yeah.
you know,
Watch. That stupid coin is going to jinx all of our guesses on a couple games.
It absolutely is. It really, really is. See, here's the thing. You know, you guys are saying that Oregon's defense isn't everything that it possibly could be, and Penn State's defense is actually really good. Drew Allar, when he's on, he's pretty good. Tyler Warren is pretty good. Nicholas Singleton, when he's not injured, is pretty good. I just feel like the pressure's on James Franklin. He's going to do everything he can to win this game. I don't know. I mean, he's probably just sitting down over there in Pennsylvania like, this is really weird. I didn't really plan for this, but now all of a sudden I'm like, I got to figure out a plan, and it's going to be a great plan. You know why? Because he's going to go onto ChatGPT, and he's going to say, how do I beat Oregon? And ChatGPT is going to come out with a bunch of
I don't have football stats right now.
Well, that's my thing. That's my thing with this game is that I think Penn State was sitting at home going, oh, okay, cool.
Oh,
and
we
then,
are playing.
Then they watched that game, and James Franklin went, oh shit, I have to get a game plan together. Like that's literally probably what was happening. He was like halfway through like his third beer, going, cool.
Turn the lights back on. We got a game to play.
Coaching staff, like
he
probably really was, dude.
He was probably sipping a beer or something at home, just scrolling through Twitter. He's like, "Oh, Michigan beat Ohio State. What?"
Did the same? Didn't he bag his way into the Big Ten championship in 2016?
Yeah, because isn't that somebody?
No, he got it because they beat us.
They beat. Yeah, he beat Ohio State.
If Ohio State didn't beat Michigan, Michigan would have been in it.
Yeah, we backed into the playoff.
Oh, yeah, we definitely did.
Yeah.
I will say though, I think Penn State might have an advantage. You know, this is the second time in Indy since that year. Those Penn State fans are going to travel. They're gonna travel, and there's more Penn State fans in that, and of course in this region than of course Oregon fans. So
Oregon does travel really well, and I think like you just set up, Garrison, though, Dan Lanning, motivator. Guess what he's gonna pull out in the film room this week for the students to watch?
12 men on the field penalty.
No, you idiot! The NCAA ruled that out. We can't do that anymore because he's a genius. But he's gonna pull out that '95 Rose Bowl. The last time Oregon played Penn State,
dude,
and it's going to be a motivator. It will be a motivator for the school.
All of the players on that team.
I guarantee you.
They weren't even born for like
they were even sperm.
I know they weren't even a glisten in anyone's eyes. I got it, but he will pull this out as a school thing.
They might still not be married. I don't know. It's 20 anymore.
Well, he's gonna pull something out and motivate them in that way to like avenge that loss to Penn State 35 years ago. Trust me, he's going to watch Ducks versus them later on. After
you know what Dan Lanning's gonna do is he's gonna walk into the players meeting, and he's gonna look at the players, and he's gonna be like, "So, I got an idea." And then he's just gonna name this wild, off the wall thing. Like we're screw the 12 men on the field thing. We're going to get an intentional delay a game, and we're gonna make it 1st and 15, and we're gonna make Penn State think like, oh yeah, we've totally got them. They're gonna blitz, and then we're just gonna Hail Mary it all game. And
here's the thing. Penn State does not have to blitz.
I like Garrison took that seriously.
Oh no. Oh, you were. Oh, I thought you were serious. Oh, thank goodness. Say, Mac, you're better than that.
No, I'm not. Again, clicks.
I just think like if Penn State were to win this game, dude, is because like the lights from the stadium come down on James Franklin's bald head. It shines in Dylan Gabriel's eyes in his visor. He doesn't see the wide receiver, and he throws the interception for them to win the game. Like I just don't.
No.
And you know what? And I would love for James Franklin to get this. I've been somewhat of a defender of him, but not really. I just think that he's a really good coach. But hey, man,
Well, see, the problem with that though is Dan Layton's already prepared for that. So now he's wearing a filtered visor. Gabriel is. He's already prepared for that. He's like, James Franklin head is dangerous. We're not allowing that to happen.
No, you know what's going to happen is this snow is going to pile up on top of Lucas Oil Stadium, and then it's going to collapse in the roof, and then they're going to have to move the game up to Soldier Field, and it's going to be freezing.
Oh, Penn State would win that game.
And Penn State would win that game.
Can't they just move it to Northwestern's weird practice game field?
That's not a good place to hold a Big Ten championship. You got to hold it at another
If it's like halftime already, I mean, let's just move it there and get it over with. Let's go.
I will say I'm waiting for the day, and I understand like there's been some Oregon fans who told me, no man, it gets cold over here, dude. I'm waiting for the day when these old Pac-12 teams have to come into the Midwest in late November, and I mean like a Wisconsin like a Wisconsin type of game. It's a little or Northwestern, even though do you guys see their stadium? Their building?
Northwestern?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, the renditions of it. Yeah.
It makes no sense. They don't deserve it, but it's awesome.
Hey man, the Ivy League of the Midwest.
I want USC. USC and UCLA are the ones that really need to go over there in November.
Yeah.
But that's why Notre Dame and USC schedule, if they go to Notre Dame, it's September. Notre Dame goes there in November. So they don't have to deal with that,
That's
relation. Yeah, it's crap. It's always been that way though.
But why doesn't Notre Dame be like, no, you're coming here in the middle of November?
They have a friendly handshake.
Darth Ducky, you guys had good weather that day.
It was a decent day in Camp Randall that day. That was one of our big concerns going to Wisconsin.
I've seen some nasty Big Ten weather games, dude. Some nasty ones.
It sounds like
you need to go to the Pacific Northwest when it rains hard and play in the swamp. I mean, literally, like you're playing in mud puddle. The whole field is flooded. But it never rains in Autzen, though. So I mean, it's just monsoons.
I've only been to Bend, Oregon, up in the Northwest. I've only been to Bend. So great beer up there, by the way, everybody.
Bend's okay. I live about 17 miles from there.
But they have good beer. It got rated number one beer city in America.
Oregon's over crap beer.
Excuse you.
No, it got voted that, Mac. It got voted that. It's not the best. We all know what the best beer city in America is. We all know that.
No, Grand Rapids is beer city, and Kalamazoo is beer city number 2.
No, Texas. It's Texas as a state as a whole.
No. Never been more incorrect in your entire life.
I live in Texas. I can say that.
Grand Rapids has 2 things that are really good: beer and marijuana. So,
all right. So here's what we're gonna do.
All right, moving on.
Mac. Yeah.
Mac. Yeah. So, there are a lot of billboards for it around here.
I know. So next week is our last show, and what we're gonna do, last show for the season, and then we're gonna take a hiatus for a while because I need a break.
How long?
What if Oregon meets Ohio State in the playoffs?
We might do a special show.
There you go. There you go.
Like
there
that.
you go.
But next week,
potentially meet in the second round.
Next week, what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a bracket. And you guys are going to be voting on who goes to the to which round. And if we have an odd number of guys, like tonight, it wouldn't work. So hopefully we have an odd number of guys so that we have a tiebreaker. But we're going to try to build a bracket next week. And I guess that was it. I don't know why I said that. We're going to try to do that. And then when the championship is over, then I was planning on a sort of a wrap up show to talk about how everybody did on the bracket.
So in January.
That's a really cool idea, actually. I wish I came up with it.
Well, you can use it if you want. I don't mind.
Hang on.
You embrace.
We got to talk about licensing fees. And...
You want to try to license a bracket?
I want to license an idea. I want to license the idea, man. I was licensing your brain. I'm trying to use your brain to make money. Freaking all right.
That's fair, Mac.
Every LLC would be like, get the hell out of here.
What are you doing?
I mean, we locked down so.
Yeah,
that's crap.
Sure. All right, guys. Thank you very much for being on tonight. I'm going to let each one of you go individually here. Give your socials and that again. Ben, I guess I'll start with you since you have to do that voice of college football after dark. Where can everybody find you?
In 25 minutes and finish cooking dinner.
Oh, there you go.
Which I will not eat until later. But yeah, please, by all means, join us on the Voice of College Football Oregon channel later with Big Ten Ted here in about literally 35 minutes to discuss the championship game, maybe a little national signing day. Didn't even get into that today at all.
Oh, yeah.
TJ is doing that over on Michigan football.
Yeah,
So.
it's a lot. It's a lot to talk about. So
It
yeah,
is,
obviously
yeah.
that's like a 2-hour thing by itself easily. So join us over there or Exploring Ben and Sam on YouTube. And I'll see you, gentlemen, next week.
Next Wednesday.
Hopefully with my crown for the next year.
There you go. All right.
You'll laugh so hard when you guys lose.
Insufferable.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Ben. My grandson's name is Fenris. That's why I said Fen.
You just almost called him your nephew.
Yeah, I almost did.
That's
I
fine.
told you, my brain doesn't work
all I
after
can say
9
is
o'clock.
all I can say is quack quack.
Enjoy your week, Ben. We'll see you next week.
See you then.
All right, Garrison.
Yeah.
What do you got? Where can everybody find you?
Yeah, you can find me on Buck_Gaddy. Again, that's Daddy with the G. You also find me on Scarlet and Blue Show with my co-host Bryce Sack, and on the Boys of College Football House State Prime Time with Ryan Stano. And yeah, man. Again, I'm waiting for this week to end because I stayed away from all. I told everybody I'm not talking about this anymore online. Any show I have to do this week will be the end of it, and I'm happy that tomorrow's our call-in show on Voice of College Football, and that on Thursday and tomorrow with Bryce. No, we already talked about the game on Sunday.
Yeah, you guys did a whole show on it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, good grief, dude. Good grief. But we went for hour 40 minutes. But yeah, after this week, I'm not talking about this game.
We are.
I won't even. Have a good evening, gentlemen.
Hey, buddy.
Thanks,
Thanks, guys.
being on, Garrison. Appreciate it. See you next Wednesday.
All right, see you, Rob.
See
ya. Have a good one, man.
All right, Rob. Where
Oh,
can
yeah,
everybody
Beck.
find you?
I was going to say something, man. Seems like you're pretty confident about the newcomers. They have a betting line on FanDuel. I think it's plus 1,500. It's called Newcomers, and it's just head-to-head wins. You pick all the newcomers of the conference, like the Big 12, ACC, Big 10, SEC. Pick them to win. Do a $10 bet. You can win like $500. So,
oh wow,
yeah. Think about it. I'm thinking about doing it, even though I picked the teams I did on here. Yeah. But all right, you can catch my my co-host and I, Peter, on Buckeyes Battle Cry. And I'm not going to give my TikTok. I explained the dilemma. Oh, yeah. I just look to see my views, and I'm having trouble getting to 300. So I'm very angry that I decided to do that. But yeah,
well, it's communism, dude. They took your views and they redistributed them to them other channels that have even less. I mean, that's just how communism works.
Yeah, you could put it that way, but I will. So my wife and I we'll be down there. I'll for sure be doing content, definitely. But
that'll be sweet. I look forward to that.
Yeah, it should be a good time. But thanks for having the show. I'm sad that it's ending soon, but I'm sure Peter and I we'd love to come back on after.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have you guys on again for sure. Thanks for being on. Yeah, enjoy the championship game. That sounds like it's gonna be a lot of fun.
Thanks. You guys have a good night.
All right, take care, Rob.
See you.
All right, boom. There we go.
Another insanely successful show.
I know. Yeah, that's good stuff. Yeah, I love having those guys on. I am both. As we've said, I'm both excited and sad that the season is coming to an end. But we have full-time jobs and lots going on these days, so we do have to bring the live stream to an end for a little bit. But next week, we will definitely be on next week to do our playoff bracket, which I think is going to be a lot of fun. Let's see. What else do we have? Don't forget to check out teamrivalry.com. Lots of updates going on there. I'm going to start doing more updates on the website so that we have more stats you can look up, players that you can look up, things like that. I know you can get some of that stuff on other sites, but I think ours is set up in such a way that it kind of makes it fun to look things up. So there's that. You can also check on the rivalries there on teamrivalry.com. I am still trying to work on getting all of the USC data in there. It's a process. You can also check out our show Point a Minute on Michigan football at the Voice of College Football. We broke down the Ohio State Michigan game. I had a lot of fun doing that one. We were thinking we were going to do about a 10, 12-minute show, and it ended up being about a half an hour long. So there's a lot of good stuff in there. Don't forget to like and subscribe to this show. We really appreciate it. We are up to 1,075 now, which is pretty exciting.
1,076. Just got
we got another one. All right. Thank you very much for that. Really appreciate it. Appreciate all the support from out there, and really appreciate having you guys in the chat, being part of the show. One of these days, we'll start doing call-in shows. So you guys can get on here and start talking to us about your thoughts and opinions on football. We will be back next Wednesday night, as I said, 8:15, same time, same channel. And I think that's about all I have. Mac, do you have anything else to add?
How in the world did we beat Ohio State?
I don't know. It's craziness. It's crazy.
Ohio State basketball just lost to Indiana or Maryland. Sorry, 83-59.
Oof.
Now
that'll happen.
It is a bad week to be an Ohio State fan.
Oh, I missed a chat here.
Darth
Ducky says players get injured when it's raining like that at Hudson.
Yeah, I've heard that.
I missed this one too. James Wilson said, "Come to Outson when it's raining sideways and blowing 40."
Okay.
All right. I think that's going to do it for us. Again, have a good time watching the Big Ten Championship this weekend or whatever championship game you like to watch. Mac, take us out.
We are. Come on. You know
in rivalry.
No, Penn State. That's Penn State's thing. We are Penn State.
Oh, Penn State. I don't want to be Penn State.
Well, I don't really either. I just think it'd be really funny if they won.
Okay. Do it again.
Okay, all right. We are.
Oh, Penn State.
You son of a... Team rivalry. Good night, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Football!